Hello friends, my name is Bhavish and today I will tell you about Ant-Man and the Wasp, Avengers the Infinity War. So let's go. Because Avengers Endgame is such a big deal for the franchise, Marvel Studios is understandable keeping details for the Earth's mightiest heroes, fourth epic tale close to the chest. However, there is a fair amount of information that's already available to the public, including a teaser trailer. So read on to find out what we know about the movie so far. Be warned, though, this guide is filled with spoilers both mild and extreme about Infinity War and Ant-Man and the Wasp. So proceed with caution if you haven't seen either film yet. What have we seen from Avengers Endgame? Given that Avengers Endgame is going to be one of the biggest movies of all time, the marketing team behind the movie hadn't exactly been super active. Through the good news is that they have now released several trailers and teasers to get us even more pumped for the film. The first preview from the blockbuster dropped online and in theaters in December 2018, and fans have been re-watching it over and over, trying to squeeze out as many data as they can, something which will probably be evident as you continue reading this guide. While another trailer dropping during the Super Bowl, it was more of an extended TV spot than a full preview. But of all the recent cases, we have gotten of footage from the film, though the biggest reveal may have been in the form of a series of posters which seem to confirm a lot of living and dead characters, including ones we didn't get to witness from Avengers Infinity War. Iron Man. Robert Downey Jr. helped kick off the Marvel Cinematic Universe with Iron Man in 2008, and he has maintained a consistent presence in the franchise since then. However, with Avengers Endgame ending both the MCU's Phase 3 and wrapping up what the franchise has been building for a decade, it's certainly possible that this will be the last time we see Downey's Stark after 10 appearances. One wouldn't blame the man for wanting to retire from his Iron Man life and fully focus on the other projects. For Tony Stark, this could mean anything from dying in battle to simply leaving his superhero activities behind. All we know for certain is that at the end of Avengers Infinity War, he was still stranded on Titan, one of the only two superheroes remaining on the dead planet after Thanos snapped. From the trailer looks like he was able to leave Titan on a ship so that he could try and to get back to the Earth, but he'll need a miracle to survive the actual journey. Something tells us that he'll be getting one through. America, like Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans. Future after Avengers Endgame remains uncertain. Evans was originally contracted for 6 Captain America appearances, but he extended it for one movie so he could participate in Avengers Endgame. That being said, that being said, there has been some implication that he will be departing the MCU after the blockbuster through, though that has yet to be confirmed. In any case, rather than suiting up as Nomad as previously rumored, Steve Rogers will be reverting back to his clean-shaven look and a more traditional Captain America costume for Avengers Endgame, where he'll reportedly have a bigger role as he tries to save the lives of half the allies in existence and reunites with his trusty shield. Beyond that, we don't know that what's in store for him, though we hope that the movie will also find some way to resolve the conflict that he's had with Tony Stark since the end of Captain America Civil War. Thor and Loki. The ultimate raid of Asgard and most of its inhabitants was sealed once Thor's Ragnarok and Avengers Infinity War were released. But one thing we do know is that Thor will live on to fight in Avengers Endgame. The God of Thunder has lost a whole hell of a lot in recent features, including his brother Loki, his best friend, Heimdall, his father, Odin, most of his people, his home world, and even his eye, but that's not going to stop him from continuing to fight the good fight. To no one's surprise, they're played once again by Chris Hemsworth, will be continuing his heroic duties and fighting alongside his fellow Avengers in the 4th chapter of the Team Up series. And we can bet that the weight of all his pain will be heavy for the God of Thunder, not to mention insane regret for not going for Thanos' head with Stormbreaker. And while Loki has always been a wild card, and there has been speculation that he could still be alive, it would seem that this time his death is permanent. Hulk. Thanks to Thor Ragnarok, we know that Hulk has been spending the last few years killing it in the gladiator on Sakaar. But because of events during the opening of Avengers Infinity War, he found himself back on the Earth to help try and pummel Thanos and his minions. It ended up being Bruce Banner in one of the Tony's Hulkbuster suits who ended up doing the lighting. However, as the green monster refused to come back out after his beat down from the Mad Titan, Mark Ruffalo has said that Hulk Bruce Banner has a specific arc that's playing out across Thor, Ragnarok, Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame, and the idea is that together the story will feel like a Sandals one movie for the character who hasn't been gifted with a solo movie since The Incredible Hulk in 2018. Avengers Endgame will also be the culmination of the huge change Hulk will go through starting in Thor Ragnarok, meaning that we will likely see a lot more cooperation between Bruce and Hulk by the time the film is over. Could we finally see Banner and Hulk melding into one super strong, highly intelligent individual, aka Professor Hulk? Thanos. Ever since he smirked at the camera in the Avengers mid-credit scene, Thanos has been lurking in the background of the MCU. But in Avengers Infinity War, he finally stepped into the light when he and his Black Order minions secured all 6 Infinity Stones so that he could obliterate half of all life in the universe. The Mad Titan's involvement in Avengers Endgame, on the other hand, is shrouded in mystery. Josh Brolin had said that Thanos might not get all the Infinity Stones by the time Infinity War ended, and we now know that to have been a careful misdirect. We'll go into the 2019 blockbuster with the character being a godlike entity. But beyond that, we have no idea what the film has in store for him. Guardians of the Galaxy. With the exception of Yondu, who gave his life to save Peter Quill in the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. All the Guardians of the Galaxy returned for Avengers Infinity War. Unfortunately, due to the events of that film, we'll go into Avengers Endgame with Bradley Cooper's Rocket, Raccoon and Karen Gillan's Nebula as the only members to survive Thanos' snap. That makes it a particularly big challenge to predict what they'll be up to when we get to see the characters next. Through it was originally through that Nebula just abandoned Tony Stark on Lytton and didn't take a position in whether or not he should live or die. The new teaser that was released seems to suggest that she will end up helping him. It's worth noting that if Thanos does end up dying in Avengers Endgame, we shouldn't count out either a somehow reconstituted Drax the Destroyer or Nebula been responsible for his demise, as they are both heroes with serious vendettas against the intergalactic warlord. As we know, though they may have to stand in a long line to get their shot at that now. Doctor Strange. We watched Doctor Strange begin his superhero journey in late 2016, and by the time of Avengers Infinity War, his magical abilities were most beneficial to his new allies until they weren't anyway. While we can't predict what we'll see from the neurosurgeon turned sorcerer in Avengers Endgame without knowing how the good doctor will come back into the told. Keep in the mind that even with his considerable talent, Doctor Strange isn't invincible, so he may still be going through a learning curve when we see him again in 2019 film. Still, let's not forget that before he was dusted, Doctor Strange used the Time Stone to look at all the alternate futures concerning the coming conflict with Thanos, and in only one of them were he and his allies' victories. Strange knew ahead of time how things needed to proceed, and Avengers Endgame will see those pieces finally fall into place. From traveling to Germany to fight other superheroes to defeating a gang of thieves armed with exams weaponry, Peter Parker's life as Spider-Man hasn't been lacking in excitement so far in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The Avengers Infinity War, he put his arachnid-themed abilities to good use on a cosmic scale, and in an even more decked out suit Tony Stark designed for him. None of his powers or technology were able to help him at the end of the movie, though young Peter's demise at the end of the film been one of the most heartbreaking moments ever in a superhero movie. It's worth noting that Spider-Man Far From Home will begin only minutes after Avengers Endgame, so movie-goers will reunite with Peter immediately in the aftermath of this event and might get to watch him continue to deal with the effects of whatever brought him back to the known world. Black Widow. Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow has been key figure in the Marvel Cinematic Universe since the franchise's third movie, and while we won't be seeing her first solo film until we are getting deeper into Phase 4, we know that she will be back and playing a crucial role in Avengers Endgame. She is one of the few Avengers who successfully survived Thanos' snap, and going by the first trailer for the movie, it looks like the upcoming blockbuster will catch up with her as she is working with Captain America to find a fix to the whole situation. Plus, she will be reuniting with an old college. Black Panther. At the end of Black Panther, King T'Challa, Chadwick Boseman, decided to open Wakanda up to the world, but he probably didn't expect that months later the African nation be would have to repel an alien invasion. When Steve Rogers and his allies showed up asking for help protecting Vision and retrieving the Mind Stone, however, the royal superhero led them in and provided a battlefield against the deadly outriders. Earth's mightiest heroes technically emerged victories in that fight, but soon after T'Challa turned to dust thanks to Thanos' snap, and OK watched on in horror. Since Black Panther 2 is happening, we know T'Challa will eventually return. This question, like with all the other disappeared heroes, is how. Okay, Jeremy Renner's Clint Barton sat out Avengers Infinity War due to being under house arrest, but rest assured that when Avengers Endgame rolls around, he'll be back in action. It's been confirmed that when we reunite with him in Avengers Endgame, he'll be known as Ronin, the identity he briefly donned in the comics following his resurrection. Why the identity changed? Supposedly, the events of Infinity War will leave Clint in a very dark place, with the going theory that most, if not all, of his family was wiped out by the Thanos snap. That would certainly put most people in darkest of places. Exactly what his contribution to the fight against the Mad Titan will be isn't entirely clear right now, but he should be a useful tool if only just because he is chock full of motivation. Ant-Man and the Wasp. While Ant-Man, Paul Rudd, and the Wasp, Evangeline Lilly, were initially expected to appear in both Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame, we actually didn't get to see them until their recent solo sequel, Ant-Man and the Wasp. If you have seen that movie, you know that things did not end particularly well for Scott Lang and his allies. Following the decimation, Thanos' snap went down as Scott was in the quantum realm, and it erased all traces of not only Hope Van Dyne but also Michael Douglas, Hank Pym, and Michael P. Pfeiffer's Janet Van Dyne. Somehow he'll make it back to Earth in Avengers Endgame as seen in the trailer, and there are already theories on how the quantum realm plays into his into this gargantuan story, but otherwise we are in the dark on how Scott fits into the proceedings. Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel's involvement in the MCU has been one of the franchise's biggest question marks, as Brie Larson's debut as Carol Danvers arrived just a couple months before Avengers Endgame. Her whereabouts in the present day haven't been revealed yet, but Carol has been officially confirmed to appear in the Phase 3 capstone project, presumably having her first opportunity to interact with the Avengers and the Guardians of Galaxy. And some are so excited by her appearance in Endgame that they are often even theorizing that she was digitally removed from some scenes of the new teaser to keep her time in the film a secret. Her existence was teased in Avengers Infinity War's final moment when Nick Fury activated a souped-up pager right before disappearing that displayed Carol's insignia. Whatever the reason for her absence, her planet-moving powers will be most welcome when she finally returns to Earth. Other superheroes. Along with the previously mentioned superheroes, War Machine, Scarlet Witch, Falcon and Winter Soldier are all confirmed to return for Avengers Endgame. Yes, even the ones who were dusted by the Thanos snap at the end of Infinity War. Then there's the Vision, who was especially important to Avengers Infinity War, given that he was powered by the Mind Stone, one of the 6 Infinity Stones that Thanos craft. And like many of those other heroes, we have no indication what will happen to Vision in Avengers Endgame, or how the destroyed android might be brought back to life. The supporting characters. Avengers Endgame already has a stacked lineup of superheroes, but there will still be a number of other characters filling out the cast. In the supporting character category, only Iron Man mainstays, Pepper Potts and Happy Hogan, as well as Doctor Strange's most trusted magical Ali Wong, have been confirmed to appear through, though you can bet that plenty of other familiar faces from the heroes' personal lives will be back as well. One of those will probably be Samuel L. Jackson's super spy Nick Fury, even though, yup, he got dusted, who's been absent in the present day MCU since Avengers Age of Ultron. As far as new faces go, the Wolverine actor Hiroyuki Sanada has been cast in an undisclosed role, along with 13 Reasons Why star Catherine Langford had they likely won't be the only new players thrown into the mix.